The American Express Black Card. This is an invite-only, ultra-wealthy credit card meant for lavish, big-spending celebrities. It's a card that proudly boasts a $10,000 initiation fee alongside a $5,000 a year annual fee. Now, you might have also heard about the ridiculous benefits that this card offers, including the best worldwide personal assistance program where you can get exclusive reservations, gift deliveries anywhere in the world, and special access to service that you can never get anywhere else. Like, I even heard a rumor that the American Express Black Card phone line is only allowed to ring once. I mean, shall we at least give it a try?
How can I help you today?
Anyways, this card is pretty wild, and I would consider it to be something like the legendary Ho-Oh from the Pokemon of the credit card world. Now, say you wouldn't mind paying $15,000 in the first year of card ownership. Well, how do you even get it? So it turns out that getting an American Express Black Card is definitely hard, don't get me wrong, but it's not actually impossible. So here are the exact steps on what you need to know in order to get approved and invited to an American Express Centurion Black Card. Starting out with number one, the first thing that you need to do in order to qualify is to be a good standing cardholder with American Express. This means that you can't be blacklisted, you can't have missed any payments, and you do need to own some type of American Express card products. It's recommended that you are an American Express cardholder for at least a minimum of 1 year. If you think that you'll somehow just get invited because you put all your money with a competitor and that they would find out and they'd want you to come to the other team, no, that's not how it works. You actually need to hold an American Express card and you need to spend a certain amount of money. More on that later, but the second thing that you want to have is sufficient income stated on your American Express personal account. Now, to do this is actually pretty simple. You just go into account services on your account. You go to the bottom of it, it says update your income, and on this page you can confirm how much your income really is. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of people tend to exaggerate these things, but when it comes to American Express, I wouldn't mess around because they will most likely try and verify this information, which is called having a financial review. I've been hit with a financial review before. This is when I decided to check my spending power. I set my limit. I also put down a higher income than it was previously. And then through the audit of that, I had to send them bank account statements and tax returns and multiple pieces of financial proof. Now, the reason why this is so significant though is under the confirm your income page, you'll notice that they wrote this one sentence: by keeping your income current, we can help you meet your financial needs and consider you for certain offers as applicable. I believe what this means is that if you are putting down a certain income level, then that would automatically trigger the algorithm to place you in a category of where you are a possible candidate of getting invited to this card. Now, the next thing that you'll want to do in order to qualify for a Centurion card is to make sure that you meet their minimum required spend. Although American Express doesn't have an official post stating that there is a spending threshold, there is 100% indeed one. In order to get invited to this card, normally you would need to spend at least $250,000 in purchases across all your Amex accounts. Now, that's not just it too, because believe it or not, there's actually two versions of the Centurion card, and that's going to be the personal and the business. As we cruise through the year of 2023, I need to mention that a lot of the rules have changed. This includes how American Express has now decided to invite new folks, and it seems like data points from current American Express Black Card holders are showing something completely different. So as an example, there used to be a ton of data points where people spent close to $250,000 across all of their accounts. So if you have the personal gold, you have the business platinum, and then you have a personal platinum, you could add all of those up, and if it totaled up to near $250,000, people are still getting invitations. Now I've seen stories where people are spending $500,000 or more on a single card for a multiple year period, like 2 to 3 years, and they still don't get invited. Out of all the data points that I've gathered, because none of this is officiated, I'd say the rough estimate is that you'd still want to spend at least $250,000. But it looks like for this year, 2023, if you're spending around $500,000 and you're doing it consistently for the last 2 to 3 years, you'd have a huge approval chance of getting invited to the card. On the other end of that, if you're spending on just your business card, this is going to need a higher spend limit. You would actually need to spend way more than that. And it looks like some people need to spend at least $1 million per year. And if you want to have the best chances of getting approved, you would have to spend at least $5 million to $10 million per year in order to even be on the radar. Now, guys, I've spent the last few hours researching as much as I could across forums and different cardholders to see where we are standing today. What's most interesting is that it looks like American Express isn't just doing it based off spend requirement, but it turns out if you happen to live in bigger cities full of ultra-rich people like LA or Miami, you would need to spend even more money compared to where if you lived in the middle of nowhere. So depending on the zip code or maybe the area that you live in, these spending requirements fluctuate. Even going through Reddit, I had found this one interesting post by a user who stated that I have a personal Centurion and was spending $800,000 to $1.5 million on the card for around 8 years before being offered the Centurion card. I also have a business platinum, which I spend around $1 million a year, and I've never been offered the Centurion business card for it. I've heard the business spend requirement is much higher than the personal, as it is much easier to spend through expenses. So if you happen to be a sole peasant like myself and you can't spend $500,000 in a single year without selling your birthright as a human being, then here are a bit more proactive steps that you can take to hopefully still get you invited for an Amex Centurion card without spending ridiculous amounts of money. So the number one most important thing is to build a relationship with someone inside American Express. Now you might think, how do I do that, Brian? I don't even know the neighbors that live on my street. Well, this is actually a bit easier than you might think. So back in 2019, I attended an American Express small business event that I heard about online. From this, I was able to get the contact information from the VP of Loyalty Marketing at Amex. Back then, I was hustling a little bit extra. I wanted to have an internal plug, so I went ahead, traded Instagrams, had a chance to shake hands after that, and I even went home with a bunch of swag. I will indeed say that the swag that I got, that was my favorite part of the whole thing. Look, when it comes to getting exclusive invitation access or getting that dream job offer, in the year of 2023, in this generation, it's not really about the diplomas, the degree, or how much money you're spending. It's more about the relationships and the connections through the network you have. So put yourself out there. If you really want this card, find someone within the system. And I do believe that if you're able to pull a little bit of strings, one day you'd be able to have a higher chance of getting invited to this card. Another thing that you could do is also chat with a customer support rep or just call the number on the card and see if you get forwarded to a department that is able to get your account added to a place where you can get eyeballs seen for the qualifications of the Centurion card. Last but not least, this is the most active and important thing that you can do, but it's to request an invite manually. American Express Centurion cardholders have their own dedicated website portal that they can log into. By visiting this link, which I'll also have down below in the YouTube video, just so you know it's convenient for you guys, you can go over here into interested in Centurion membership and click here. By going through there, you can put in your first name, last name, the American Express card number, and your 4-digit security code. They state here, if you are interested in being considered for invitation to US Centurion membership, please provide the information below. I strongly do believe by having your information in here, you are getting your application seen by someone, whether it's an algorithm, whether it's, someone in another country that is getting paid like their minimum wage there to just at least look, but then when they see a number standing out or something special about your account, they will go ahead and extend that offer to you. Now, ladies and gents, by watching this video, I do hope that you guys at least know a bit more about how the American Express Black Card works. And I do know that it is difficult to get invited for this card, and I will not be able to talk about it in today's video, but one day, maybe one day I will, but there are other ways of getting this card that I did not mention in this video. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool. I would say one of the best cards that you could look into is actually going to be the American Express Platinum card. This here, I would say, still has pretty strong flex value in comparison to the annual fee of what you would get from the Centurion card, but actually with the American Express Platinum card, you are getting your full monies back. So it's a smart flex card. The Amex Platinum is a $695 annual fee card, but they've added so many more benefits, and there was even a 100,000 point offer available for this card. Now, if you guys did find any value at all from this video, be sure to like it down below, subscribe to the channel, and follow me over on Instagram at Credit Brian, and check out the links down below if you want to learn more about credit cards. Thank you all so much again for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.